Let's move on to main topic number 4. Alou, what is our 4th main topic today?
Topic number 4 comes to us from Wade S., who says, "Hey guys, hope you're well. I just read that Vince Vaughan has a Dodgeball 2 movie all ready to go and has almost everyone on board with it except Ben Stiller. Apparently they won't do it without him, and he's hesitant to do it. Have you ever seen the original, and what did you think of it? Would you be down for a Dodgeball 2?
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
Rip Torn. It was so, I mean, he was funny his entire career.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot I liked him in as much as I liked him in Dodgeball. If you can dodge traffic, you can dodge a ball. Dodgeball, without no hyperbole, no joking around. Dodgeball is a top 10 favorite comedy of mine of all time. I love that movie. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. I love this movie so much. I think it might be my favorite Vince Vaughn film. I love Justin Long. Alan Tudyk's in it. And of course, Ben Stiller kills in this movie. Absolutely does. It's always been a treasure of mine. I would love, look, is there a lot of story to tell here with Dodgeball? No, but Dodgeball is a great example of one of those things where a comedy doesn't have to do anything right if it makes you laugh hysterically. If a comedy makes you laugh hysterically, that's all it needs to do. Dodgeball did that. And I would love to see those characters come back together. And it looks like Vince Vaughn, Justin Long, and a bunch of the rest of them are trying to make it happen. This comes to us from IndieWire, who wrote the following. Justin Long, who I love Justin Long, by the way.
I do too.
Justin Long says, "Of course, I would love to do it, and I hope that it ends up happening. But I think Ben Stiller is a little," what he told me on that podcast was that he's a little trepidatious about doing a sequel to something so beloved, something that people enjoy so much. Long told comicbook.com. It's very risky. You don't want to shit on the original. You want something just as good. So I think he's a little wary of that, of trying to recreate something that was very specific to that time. But I hope he comes around on it." Long continued. "Vince Vaughn is a very convincing person. So I'm just hoping Vince can convince him with his idea. It's a funny idea. I don't want to say what it is. I know Ben loves Dodgeball and loves that character. I remember how much fun he had playing it. He was always laughing." And that comes to us from Justin Long. So Vince Vaughn's got his pitch for Dodgeball 2. Apparently, most people, from what I've heard, are already back on board. They'd want to do it, but they don't. No one's going to do it without Ben Stiller. I don't think Vince will do it without Ben Stiller. You got to have Ben in there as well. And I get Ben Stiller's trepidation, because if you're like me, you're like, "Oh, come on, Ben, I want to see this." But around that same era, Ben had another iconic, in my personal top 10 favorite comedies of all time, movie called Zoolander. I love Zoolander.
Oh, I'm right there. I know where you're going with this.
Oh, so good. That movie is so funny. It never stops being funny.
Nope.
So he decided to do Zoolander 2.
You know, I actually forgot that.
That they did. You know
Yeah.
what? He wishes he could forget it too. He does not like his Zoolander. Nobody likes Zoolander 2.
No.
I mean, I'm sure some people out there did, and that's great, but basically nobody likes Zoolander. It was terrible. And the first one, like I said, is a top 10 favorite
Kills.
comedy of mine. It's so good. Hansel, so hot right now. Hansel. I created the piano key. Anyway. And oh my God, how good was Will in that?
Oh, it's Mugatu, which is a Star Trek reference.
One of the great comedic villainous characters ever. What is this? A Center for Ants? I could quote that movie all day. But Ben tried doing Zoolander 2. And it didn't work out so well. And that hit him very hard, because I heard him once say he feels that the results of Zoolander 2 kind of hurt the legacy of the first Zoolander. And I don't know if that's true or not. No matter how bad Zoolander 2 was, it doesn't affect my enjoyment of Zoolander 1 at all. But you could understand him being a little hesitant then when Vince Vaughn comes to you and says, "You know that movie we did that everybody loves? Let's do another one." He probably has PTSD flashbacks of Zoolander 2, so I get it. Ultimately, I don't think this is going to happen. Stiller is really busy as a producer these days, and I think that Zoolander sequel is going to really stop him from getting involved in something like this. And then I don't think Vince Vaughn goes ahead and does a Dodgeball 2 without him. So while I hope this happens, I will keep my fingers crossed that Vince is able to really give a great pitch to Ben and get Ben excited about it, get him on board. I would love to see them take another kick at this. But I want to see Steve the Pirate some more. But right now I don't think it'll happen. Rob, you hear about this. Would you even want a Dodgeball 2? Do you think Ben is being reasonable by being trepidatious? I don't know. How do you see this whole thing? We want to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Stamps.com. Guys, it happens every holiday season. No matter how prepared we think we are for the season, it always turns out we're nowhere near as prepared as we thought we were, especially with our shipping. And right about now, seasonal excitement, or dread as the case may be, is really starting to settle in, especially for small businesses. Slaying through traffic to the post office, inboxes more like a blizzard than a winter wonderland, rushing to send cards and gifts to your loyal clients. The good news is it's not too late to get your holiday mailing and shipping under control with Stamps.com. Sign up now and you'll be printing your own postage in minutes. Because Stamps.com is your one-stop shop for all of your shipping and mailing needs. Get access to the United States Postal Service and UPS services that you need to run your business right from your computer. Up to 86% off. So this holiday season, trade late nights for silent nights and get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code Campea for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code Campea.
Look, some of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen are sequels to my favorite comedies. Arthur 2 on the Rocks.
Oh, that was so bad.
Bruh. I saw Arthur like 6 times in the theater. I love that movie. It was made in 1981. I can still quote the whole thing. It's 41 years old. I love that movie. Arthur 2 on the Rocks. Ted 2.
I didn't think Ted 2 was as good as the first one, but I had some big laughs
love
in
Ted.
that.
I saw Ted 2, didn't understand why Ted 1 was funny. I hated it. Hated it. Now,
what about Billy Crystal, Robert De Niro, analyze
that.
Then analyze that. Yeah.
No, because you know what it's missing? When you sequelize a comedy, even the second Austin Powers movie is not great. Goldmember's better, but still not. You miss the novelty of discovering that quality of the like the Dodgeball with all the characters. I mean, maybe Anchorman 2 worked out. It wasn't. There's some that have been okay. Like, I loved Get Him to the Greek. I love Forgetting Sarah
I didn't
Marshall.
like that one.
See, I love Get Him because it was different, but because the music industry, dude, and Sean Combs deserved a fucking best supporting actor for that.
Petting the carpet wall.
He is, Sean Combs is, talking about, I loved him in that movie. I wish people would put him in more comedic roles because he's really funny. But Dodgeball, the problem with Dodgeball is I just don't think that there's enough... It's never going to be that again.
I just realized that's Crazy Eye Killer from Curb Your Enthusiasm in the yellow shirt. I don't know if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I don't watch it enough.
It is.
But look at the lineup there, though. You got Stephen Root, you got Rip Torn, Vince Vaughn, Alan Tudyk, Justin Long, kid from Grandma's Boy, and Matrix, or not Matrix, Avatar. In the white T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I just sat beside him at a premiere.
He was in Grandma's Boy. He plays the boss, or the main developer.
Yeah, the Matrix wannabe guy.
I mean, maybe if this... I never want to say never. I never want to say don't make this. But I look at this. When was Dodgeball made? 20 years ago?
Oh, it's good. Look how young Justin Long looks in this picture.
Kid.
Little baby.
He's just a little baby.
I don't know. I mean...
Okay, what about Evan Almighty?
Dodgeball was 2004.
But, listen, I actually
Okay,
just
so
jumped in the
like
live chat
20
and I asked
years.
people, because you bring up a good point. Like, I did not hate Hangover 2, but it's a massive step down.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Sequels to comedies are hard. I asked the live chat, what are some of the funniest sequels to comedies? There are a couple really good ones. 22 Jump Street.
That's a good one.
Absolutely hilarious. That's a great
I liked
comedy
it better
sequel.
than the first.
What's that?
I like the first, and I like it better than the
But
first.
Scary
But
Movie
there's a
2.
couple more. To me, I hated the first Rush Hour. Rush Hour 2, I love. So that's another good one. Some people say Caddyshack 2. I don't know about that.
Okay, if you say Caddyshack 2, your opinion is invalidated.
Yeah.
Caddyshack is better than the
Caddyshack 2?
first.
What about you?
I bet you're a big Grease 2 fan, too.
What would
Friday
you
afternoon.
consider one of the funnier like comedy sequels?
Well,
because those are hard. That's a hard.
I
pill to
would say
crack.
this, though. If you bring up something like Rush Hour 2, you know what one of, I think, it's not really a comedy because the first one wasn't a comedy at all, but it became a comedy. Lethal Weapon 2 is like a comedy. It even starts with the Warner Brothers animated theme. Dun, 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 and then it cuts into Riggs just going, woo! But no, the
Not Ace Ventura 2, no.
No, not Ace Ventura.
Beverly Hills Cop
because
2.
because the problem is, like with Rush Hour, you can give them a new mission, a new thing to do because they're cops. So the problem with certain comedies is that you're locked into the premise and you have to figure out a reason why they're going to go play dodgeball again.
But does it matter? Does it matter if you make it funny?
Not if it's funny.
Right, that's
But
the
the problem is
right?
a lot of these comedies, it's really hard to duplicate what made that comedic premise funny in the first place, unless you have a new mission that they could go on. I will say this, it's not great, but like Beverly Hills 2 is a pretty good
Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Pardon me, Beverly Hills Cop 2. Number one's one of my favorite movies of the 80s, but number 2 is respectable because there's a new villain and it was more of an action comedy like the Rush Hour series or like even Jackie Chan's Super Cop series, because you can have the mission can be different and the humor can be. But if you have Dodgeball 2, the premise of Dodgeball, Ron Burgundy, the second Ron Burgundy,
didn't live up to the first one.
Anchorman, but it's not horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
Yeah, but it wasn't anywhere
I want to
near.
go around a little bit. I already know what he's going to say because he already put it in
Shrek
thing. But
2.
Taylor,
Well,
yeah, obviously Shrek 2, right,
Shrek
Taylor?
2 is a masterpiece, and it was the first fight David and I ever had was, is Shrek better or is Shrek 2 better? And he was right. Shrek 2 is better. We went and we watched
I agree,
it,
actually.
yeah.
I think Shrek 2 is the best of the Shrek movies.
But I would say, someone just put this in the live chat, The Spy Who Shagged Me is hilarious. I think better than the first. Right?
Oh,
I
wow.
like this one. Lou, what about you? What's your favorite comedy sequel?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but consistency wise, someone put in the chat Scary Movie 2. I think that one's up there. I don't know if it's quite better than the first because they're both so damn good, but
What about you, Jonathan? You got one that's your favorite?
Not really. I hate to be a wet blanket on this.
I will go with 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it more than the first, so
But again, that's more like a mission movie where they can do something
Yeah.
new.
But it was funnier. Like to me, it was
The
like
comedy
when I
was
think
better.
I think in terms strictly of laughs is like, was it funnier than the first
Yeah.
one? And I thought it was actually even funnier
Both of
than
those,
the first.
I mean, both of those movies, they're an exception.
Okay, well we need to
you
move
know what?
on.
I
To,
would say even quickly, like even better than A Shot in the Dark is like the Pink Panther 2
Yeah.
oh
Or A Shot in
yeah,
the Dark.
Peter Sellers' Pink Panther movies.
because he upped the game.
Yep. All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Vince Vaughn is trying to get a Dodgeball 2 together. I want it. Doesn't look like maybe Ben Stiller does. What do you think ultimately is going to happen? Do you think they're going to make it? Do you think they should make it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there.